Just beyond the western plateau of Tibet sits the colossal mountain range of the Himalayas. These enormous towers of rock and snow distinguishes the vast landscape of Nepal, unlike any other place on Earth. Its rich geography contains the world's 10 tallest mountains, with most of its peaks averaging 6,000 meters above sea level. But just below the foothills, the flatland ranges from bustling cities to flourishing jungles. Its sheer magnificence will take away the breath of even the most jaded traveler. In this program, we will take you deep within this spiritual place, immersing you among its people and introducing you to the soul of Nepal. The centerpiece of the Nepalese culture is Kathmandu, the capital city of Nepal. At first glance, this densely packed metropolis feels disheartening. It is constantly being pushed by the unstoppable force of modernization. In just more than 10 years, the city has been transformed from a simple farming region into a buzzing fog of traffic and people. Despite Nepal's ever-expanding industry, it still remains one of the poorest countries in the world. According to this year's IMF data, Nepal's GDP per capita is only 64,000 rupees. In other words, the average yearly profits of one person in Nepal is around a meager 7,000 RMB. Although, the Nepalese people doesn't seem to be burdened by this economic reality. Instead, they have an entirely different perspective on life, a way long forgotten by the rest of the modern world.
那这个地方跟国内完全不一样。有时候我们国内都感觉钱这个东西非常重要，大家每天都为那些事情在奔忙。除了钱以外，你还剩什么呢？但这个地方就是不一样。那比如说在这里有很多人非常贫穷，那一旦他吃饱了肚子，听到音乐，他们可能马上就在那里跳舞很快乐。 说，既然我来了，我就想知道到底这真正的是怎么一回事情？因为他们的那些生活方式、他们的观念、思维方式，很多跟我们完全是不一样的，就难以想象，在这么贫困、在这么一种脏乱的那种环境下，他们可以活得那么悠闲、那么快乐。你简直难以想象，就是说，好像是一种超越世俗、那完全不一样的那种生活。
The Kathmandu Valley is the central religious hub of Nepal, combining both Hinduism and Buddhism. The two religions have coexisted peacefully for ages. From all over the world, Hindus have come to this religious epicenter for pilgrimage, searching for something indescribable within nature itself. There's an unmistakable presence in the city, and it's alive here more than anywhere else in Nepal.
But Buddhism is not meant we have to many meditation. Without meditation, we can do enlightenment. There's two kind of Buddhism, Hinayana and Mahayana. The Mahayana is more powerful. The Tantrism, powerful human being.
Bahi has been a local guide of the monkey temple for more than a decade. To him, this temple serves more than just a mechanism of profit. It also provides him a religious connection to his spiritual self. Within this peaceful environment, plus constantly being surrounded by man's closest relative, the monkey temple makes it easy for Bahi and other followers to gain a sense of religious freedom.
This is called prayer wheel, right? Prayer wheel, and inside I have a book, prayer book inside, and people reading Om Mani Padme Hum. Its meaning, Om is a God, Ma human the human being, Mane human demon, Pe human animal, Me human of the ghost, and Home is human of the city. And also when you do that, you automatically feel good. You feel your mind good, clean mind.
The religious stories and teachings of the Buddha have been passed down orally through many generations. So some of the story's key points may have been altered due to each orator. Here in Nepal, you may hear many different versions of the same story.
Before many years ago, at that time, monkey also speak. Ganakar monkeys are talking like people. Monkey die. Now not possible talking.
Bahi's story of the monkey originates from the Jataka tales, called the Monkey King. The story portrays a heroic monkey king who once led a band of monkeys against the wrath of the humans. The villain in the tale was depicted by a human king, and under his cruelty, the Monkey King suffered a tragic but courageous death in order to save his troops. The legacy of this story has been ingrained in the minds of the Nepalese people for many generations, though Nepal's deep-rooted religion has brought up some special forms of traditional customs.
I live here around 18 years. 18 years. So actually I just migrated when I was small. I used to live in the village. 20 years ago I migrated here. Now we are in Patan Darbar Square. And Patan old name is known as Lalitpur. Lalitpur means city of fine art and handicraft. So every October in Nepal we celebrate our great festival called Dasai. That time we kill 108 water buffalo inside. So every October we bring buffalo over here and we chop one by one. Immediately they chop the buffalo head and they suck blood. They feel that they will get extra energy from Kali. Even Kali also suck blood. If we kill from one shot, then the animal will die within 1 second. And because of this reason, animal will be free and it will get peace. Otherwise, if the animal will be, problem, then even that people also have some bad, impression and bad, cord from the God, God will not bless the man,
很多人来加德满都，他们都不知道这里有一段历史，而且这段历史几千年以来一直没断过。那最早这个地方有一个最著名的一个景点叫猴山，猴山当时传说是文殊师利菩萨当路过这个地方的时候，这原先不管是地质考证还是真实的故事，它是一个高山的湖，传说湖里面有一块金莲，这个金莲呢有2个传说，一个是比湿奴升大梵天，另外一个传说呢是佛陀释迦牟尼的一个转世，所以文殊师利菩萨认出那个金莲以后，他要迎娶那个金莲，所以他用他背后的智慧剑劈开了山的南边的科罗拉多峡谷，把水放出去以后，这里就成了加德满都这一片天地了。
Away from the crowded cities and the constant rumble of motor vehicles, the Pokhara Valley sweeps travelers into a dramatic change of atmosphere and scenery. The main attraction centers around the fuel lake. With an elevation of 700 meters, the lake's tributaries disappear into the surrounding territories, carving rocks into beautiful formations of natural art. Patchwork terraces have been cut by gorges and channeled by the Seti River. Water buffalo regularly roam through the rocky slopes of the Annapurna Mountain. It is easy to see why so many tourists have flocked to the city. Almost from an artist's imagination, Pokhara bestows the eye with a timeless view of a land dominated by beauty.
15 years ago, here is lots of bush. Here is living like a fox. Here is not building. There is a few people living here, few people. After 15 years, after the main tourists come to here, and people do the business and move to here from the countryside. And now it looks almost different.
Amidst the sudden increase in tourism, Pokhara still retains a life centered around agriculture. The soil is blessed with fertility, brought by the life-giving channels of the Fuel Lake. The lush vegetation of banana trees, citrus trees, and rice fields are still dominant in this area.
This is millet. This is local. People make local food, pancake and bread, and Nepalese homemade wine. Very good and a little bit strong also.
Not only is this land rich in harvest, Pokhara also produces intricate works of religious art.
Every artist has their own speak of mind. Well, mine is a little bit different. I do some like contemporary way of our traditional rich Nepal. Every artist has their own point of view, so everything is quite different according to the artist. We are Hindu, but we do especially follow some rituals of Buddhism as well. The melding of both religion. That is one special quality of Nepal art that I love. There's touch of both.
The art of hand weaving is now an important part of the Nepalese culture. Originally borrowed from the ancient Tibetan craft of carpet making, the weaving industry has almost all been shifted to the southern parts of Asia. Here in Nepal, a large number of artists prosper in this industry.
I mean, in Nepal, I love Nepal. The people is here very good, and the natural, the mountains, everything is here really good. For me, every day at my shop, so making the goods, and people give the orders, the customer come, they come to me and give the order, I can make for them. This is my everyday same life. And I give also design, the shawls, some different kinds of wall hangings, so stones, the rings. So I am also artist. I can make design.
All around the Pokhara lakeside, you will find many art shops similar to Tariq's. Crafting such small wares is strictly a family concern.
When I came in Nepal, I worked for 2 or 3 years. Then I suddenly opened my shop. So my father, grandfather gave me the stones, the shawl, jewelry. So I opened again shop. From 14 years, the shop, I have the same place, so running. The make stone is very difficult. I think I learned when I was born. It's very difficult to get the stones which is real, which is not real. For me also, sometimes very difficult. It is not joke to find the stone which is not real, which is real. So you can get now artificial and real stone same.
Jewelry store owners in Nepal have made a fortune selling counterfeit stones to customers. Tariq's Emporium is widely known to have a flawless reputation among clients.
Don't cheat, just tell the truth. This is special knowledge. Because the business is trust. If you trust, you do business. You have to believe. I believe also so many times, but so many people cheat with me also. I send the goods, they don't send me the money. So it makes me feel what the people is doing cheating. Feel bad. If I have the pain, then I can hear your pain too. I can feel your pain. If I don't have the pain, I can't feel your pain. So I don't like to cheat the people.
Nestled deep within the ridges of the Himalayas, Pokhara remains a luxurious hideaway for those trying to escape the rush of the urban jungle. It's a place where time slows down, allowing most to forget the ebb and flow of daily life, and to simply pause and enjoy the natural beauty of the surrounding landscapes. Established in 1973 and covering over 932 square kilometers, the Chitwan National Park is considered the most popular tourist destination in Nepal. Dominated mostly by the Tharu people, who rely on farming and agriculture to survive. The locals here enjoy the most basic form of human sustenance, simplicity at its finest. The Tharu people are known to have a deep connection to nature, so close that they have tamed the jungle's largest land mammal, the Asian elephant. Even though the chained elephant may seem contained, there have been many instances when an unsuspecting tourist got too close and was pounded by its large trunk. These are still wild creatures. Yet, the locals have been able to contain the elephants by using a tasty treat known as kuchi. It contains the following ingredients: rice, salt, and finally wrapped in a delicious bundle of elephant grass. Even though there have been a number of occurrences where the elephants have escaped their captivity, they have always returned for their delicious snack, the kuchi. The people here live a very natural lifestyle, yet they are largely unaware of the necessities missing within this community. In every aspect of the human trajectory, there are always two sides to a coin.
We have many difficulties here. First of all, we don't have a good roads here. We have always broken roads since many years. From the government side, they don't look after well here. They don't maintain the road. They don't have any good rules here. The people are very suffering with many different problems. For example, if they need to go to hospital, they don't have a good ambulance here because we don't have a good roads, no ambulance. Mostly people are depending here agriculture, so they don't have a really good money to go to good hospitals here.
Trying to solve the poverty crisis in Chitwan, Siri has made great efforts to boost the economy of his village, while still keeping its cultural values.
Before we started this hotel, we were very normal people. Even we didn't have ourselves land. When my brother went first time Germany, like 1990, he worked for some years there and he got a little money. Then we bought land. At that time, the land was very cheap here.
With every penny earned, he has given back to the community, with healthcare centers and charity funding, all to maintain the lifestyle in Chitwan.
My father, he was in an Indian army, ex-army, but he could not provide us a good education as well. So we were very poor, and we were also in government school, and we could not go to good schools. In the future, from our village, the children must have a good education. So we want to help these children here around. That is why now we have nearly 50 children whom we sponsor for private schools here. I pay for books, I pay for their school education fee, I pay for shoes, I pay for bags. So now I'm really lucky that even the poor children able to go to private school.
Continuing the tradition of connecting man with nature, Siri's staff provide travelers with an interesting journey into the heart of the jungle.
My name is Kumar. I live in Chitwan. I'm from very poor families. Yes, I work here since 15 years as a guide in Chitwan National Park. I want to go every day in the nature. Even there is a risky, just to go to nature, to go to jungle, even by walk, even by jeep. But just it is good. There is one proverb, just what is a risk, there is a fun. That's why I follow always with this proverb. I like it. If there is animal they give the signal. We have to follow the signal. And sometimes they smell it. They move the grasses. When they're grazing, this comes sound. Sometimes the rhinos, they move the ears. Also that time, we'll know the sound. There is a rhino.
Unlike the common jeep safari you find in Africa, Kumar leads a safari completely by foot. Here there is no separation between human and beast.
At the first, when we are walking into the jungle, we have to walk very soft, very slowly, very quiet.
This experience in the jungle is less of an adventure, but more of a focus towards the respect for nature.
And if we saw rhino there, and if they come to charge, we have to run, but not straight. If you want to run straight, you have to run 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, because rhino, they can run 40 to 50 kilometers per hour only straight. That time, we have to make a 4-meter jig, 4-meter jag. And if we run zigzag, rhino, they couldn't run zigzag because they have a heavy body. And still rhino, they follow us. That time, we have to throw something. What do we have? Water bottle, bag, camera, cloth, anything in front of the rhinos. And if we throw something there, they will stop it. And they can smell it. Because also this place, already in 1994, one guide has been killed by the rhinos in this place.
While in the forest, all forms of communication cease to mere hand signals, for animals are highly sensitive to even the slightest ruffles. In complete silence, we became immersed in a world that was all too foreign. This was a civilization dominated by carnivores and plant eaters, a place without fences or signs, and the path ahead was guided by your own intuition.
Rhinos in one time, we were in this kind of forest, place, where there are nothing to climb. Suddenly, there were 2 rhinos, mother and babies, and also we had 2 guides, me and one of my friend and 3 guests, and this rhino they came to charge. I didn't find anything, no stone, anything, yeah, and then we run. I have one bottle, I drop it there. Yeah? And I run first, and the tourist was running first. One ladies, she wearing the clothes. I say, throw your clothes, and she like this, and just throw. Yeah? And I walk, I look, she's naked, only she's wearing one t-shirt, And at the last, when I took them the safe place, and I give my shot to her, because if she didn't do that, maybe one of us we can die in that time.
Even with the dangers that lurk in the untamed wildlife of Chitwan, the Tharo people welcome the ferocity of the jungle. Their perspective of life is focused on fulfillment rather than safety, movement rather than stability, embracing every aspect of the natural life, and deterring to the modern world outside of their culture. A quick visit to Chitwan will open the mind to reconcile a part of our world to which we almost all forgotten.
We do believe these people are migrated from the Rajasthan place called Thar Desert. That is why these people are called also Tharu. When they came here, their life was depending on in hunting and fishing. So their life was not so professional life. They didn't make a big house. There's a simple house, and they eat a lot of meat, and they eat also a lot of vegetable from the jungles. So that is why they don't get any malaria when the Thar people were here. But those people who come from Kathmandu, Pokhara, they get immediately malaria. These people are called also malaria resistant people, and the indigenous people from Tarai.
The congested weave of Nepal's religious capital exposes a stark contrast against the surrounding regions untampered by industrialization. An almost medieval landscape unveils itself to the traveler. An escape. The journey into a preliminary stage of societal evolution. For this land remains largely influenced by the ideals of religion and naturalism. It provides us with a brief moment to look behind the smog of human progress and see the world as a primitive, yet lavish landscape in its most magnificent beauty.